Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very next guest today is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Abbie Gathard. So I'm about to add Abbie into live now to have a chat with Abbie about her incredible music, and let's add Abbie in and have a chat with Abbie. Hi Abbie, how's it going?
Hi. Sorry, I didn't think it was going to work then. I'm
It
good.
did. Yeah. Pleased to meet you, Gabby, by the way. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It's such a pleasure having you on today. So to people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, so thank you for having me as well. No, it's been really lovely. So to start off, I'm Abbie Gathard. I'm from Hertfordshire in the UK. So I've been playing guitar since I was about 11, 12. My family are quite musical, so to actually start at 11 or 12, everyone was like, why not before? So I didn't start earlier because I just wasn't interested. My dad did try and I was just like, no, like just wanted to play with my Barbies and just wanted to play with the dollies. And then it got to a point where I was listening to a lot more music. I was listening to like Avril Lavigne and Taylor Swift and the Beatles and stuff like that. And I was really interested to know, like, I wanted to play guitar, I wanted to sing. And it got to that stage where I was like, I want to do this. And Dad was like, well, we'll get you a guitar. See if you like go ahead and practice, because that's the main thing. It's more like it might just be a gimmick thing, is not sure. So they gave me a guitar and I actually started to learn, and through the finger hurting from the plucking the strings and stuff like that, and actually learning, I actually really enjoyed it. It was like nice time to spend with my dad as well, because my dad taught me. And so so it all started from my dad like teaching me to play guitar. Then I started performing at school, and then I grew my confidence with my music teachers at school, saying, oh, this is so great, you're doing really well. And it just grew from there. So I started really performing and really getting out there when I was about 16, and writing songs really early, like basic songs when I was 12, and then really getting into songwriting after I left school, mostly because I wanted to go to college and I wanted to study and actually get into it. And I'm really grateful for that, because I then went on to uni and then studied at uni, and now I'm still going. So yeah.
So we'll dive right into the very first question now, Abbie. So for my very first question, so you've actually created incredible songs, by the way. So for my very first question, so you've created a song, an original song, called Just Stay a Little Longer. What was it like coming up with the idea of wanting to create this song in the first place, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
So it started, sorry, I've still got this cough, so so I decided to write that song when I was speaking to my parents when COVID happened. It was such a shock to everyone, and I was thinking, what could I do? I've got like a message that I can send along to people and somehow help get this message across, because there were still people going out doing things, and I was just like, no, you should all be staying inside doing your part. And I just wanted to, as a musician, like help. So I was like, the only way I know is by writing music and trying to get my message across through that, just helping a little bit for the NHS and stuff. And yeah, so I decided to write a little song, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I just decided to write a song, and my parents were like, that would be just such a nice idea to be able to get the message across and somehow help.
So my very next question, so you have also created an original song called Fall. what was it like coming up with the idea of wanting to create this song in the first place, and what's the whole meaning behind Fall?
So, right, Fall. Yeah, so most of my music that I write is about like relationships, or it's about what I'm going through at the time. And with Fall, I felt like when I was with someone, I felt like I was playing the fool. I felt they did not feel the same. And I was just like, I felt like I tried twice, like I thought it was going well, and then I'm just looking like a little bit of an idiot now. So it just came up through this song. I started playing my guitar and it just came to me, and I was like, I played the fool. And yeah, I just started writing it, and then it slowly came across through like a couple of weeks, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to, this is the song that I feel happy about. It's like my own diary. All my songs are like my diary. It's how I express myself. And Fall was one of them that I felt could relate to people if they've been with someone and they feel like they've been going back to them and they feel like they're fooling themselves, and actually you're not. You're just you're just like feeling it. But yeah, it's just what I was feeling at the time, and I was really proud of that song because it was one of them, because I'm quite picky when I write songs, and I was like thinking, are people going to like this? Are people not going to like this? As well as it being important to me, I wanted people to be able to relate to it. So I think that was really hard, and people did come up to me after and be like, no, I really like that song, which was really lovely.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So you have also created an original song called Taking Chances. What was it like coming up with the idea of wanting to create this song, and what's the whole meaning behind Taking Chances?
Yeah, so Taking Chances is about just literally going for it. I have spent too many times thinking about just going for something and taking chances on someone that I really did love, and it worked out. And I think that's like really important, that you're not really sure whether it's going to go. Like, you don't go into the relationship thinking, oh, is it really gonna, like, you know, shouldn't I? And I was just like, no, I'm just gonna go for it and see where it goes. And it's, you know, it was really lovely, like writing that song, because I had written it in my relationship now, I might as well say. And yeah, just taking chances and not knowing where it's going to go, and it worked out. So that's why I wrote that song, and I wanted to release it on my EP as well as Full, Taking Chances, Mr. White and Honesty. So I've decided that I wanted to write all them together because I felt like they had a good connection.
So on to our very next question. So you've, as you mentioned about Mr. Y, what was it like coming up with the idea of wanting to create Mr. Y in the first place, and what's the whole meaning behind Mr. Y?
Yep, so Mr. Y, again, most of my songs are just what I go through, and Mr. Y was one of them songs that I was getting a bit fed up of just thinking, like, is it going right? Is it not? Is it, what's happening? So I was just like, why are you doing this? Basically, Mr. Why are you doing this? And I just started writing it. And when I had written the song, it actually didn't take as long as my other songs. So that was probably one of the quickest ones I've done. And I like using like sevenths in my songs and making it sound really pretty. So I actually struggle with chords as well sometimes. And when I was actually creating this song, it came to me. It was literally just, it was really powerful to me because it just came to me when I was writing it. Like, this hasn't happened before. What is this? And it just, I carried on writing it, and before I actually like release anything or or decide that I actually really like this song and I really want to like play it, perform it, I always ask my dad's advice, because he is like my inspiration, and he did get me into music. So I always go to him and say, what do you think of this? He was like, I really like that song. And my dad's really picky. He will tell me if it's not good. He will tell me if he really likes it. Oh, that could be, you know, you could improve on that. And yeah, he was like, I really like that. That's catchy. So that made me really happy to know that he actually approved of that kind of thing. Because he's like my manager, you know. And yeah, so that was pretty much that song.
Well, can I just say, by the way, Abbie, I love your vocal range. Like, your vocal range is truly sensational. Like, like all the songs that we've mentioned so far, like, you're as like an artist, you have such a talent, by the way. Like, you really, like, to people that haven't listened to Abbie's songs, definitely go check out Abbie's songs. They're truly sensational, as I mentioned before. And yeah, Abbie has such a gift and talent, and yeah, you really do. You have such an amazing, bright, incredible future ahead of yourself. And yeah, I just wanted to say that first up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That means a lot.
So on to the very, very next question. So you have also created an original song called Honesty. What was it like coming up with the idea of wanting to create Honesty? And what's the whole meaning behind Honesty? So
Honesty was one of them. I wasn't really sure if I should release it or not. So it was about, I can be quite forward. I can say if I like something, I don't like something. Sometimes I don't hesitate, depends who it is. So it can be like, you know, a bit awkward sometimes, but yeah, I just feel like you need to be honest. There's no point sitting on the fence or just, I'm not really sure about this. If I like something, I'll say I like it. Or I'm very like driven. I'm very like straightforward, which is like a hit or miss with some people, but I really do believe in like honesty. And if you can't take it, then don't give it. I really do like stand by that, because you've got to admit when you're wrong, and you've also got to stand by it. If you're going to say it, admit that you said it. Don't just, I didn't say that, because you're going to get caught out. So it was really one of them. I was just a bit like, honesty.
So on to the very next question. So you've also created a song called Drifting. What was it like coming up with the idea of creating this song, and what's the whole meaning behind Drifting in the first place?
So Drifting Away was actually one of my first songs I had written. And I started writing that when I was at college. So when I was studying music, I was just starting to write, starting to understand like who I was and where I wanted to go with music. Sorry. And I was kind of drifting away from the fact that you had to have like sections, like you had to do this and this and different band works, and I just wanted to do my own thing. I just wanted to have my own music and be able to release my music. And it was so many things college of like promising to go places, promising to do things, and it never really happened. So I was just like, I'm kind of drifting away from the fact of false promises, and I really just want to do my own music. I really just want to be able to have my own style, learn a little bit about me along the way. And yeah, so that was one of the songs that wasn't about a relationship, wasn't about love. It was just generally like what I'm going through and trying to like go forward, basically.
So on to our very next question. So what made you decide, like, as an artist and as a person, like, what made you decide that you wanted to pursue music in the first place? And who would be your like all-time favorite inspiration, like music wise?
Okay, so my dad is my inspiration. I have to admit, my dad is. He really did bring me up with all these different music things. So he used to listen to Toto and the Beatles, Queen, everything like that. And I loved all them bands. And he he always shows me different artists, and he really got me into like Kate Tunstall. And when she was on like Jules Holland, I don't have to say anything, she was amazing. So yeah, so he really inspired me, and I just want to be as good as he is. And I think that was the thing. When I perform and when I do my songs, I'm always like, what did you think? Because yeah, he is my inspiration. He is really talented, he is amazing, and he's done the same as me. He's performed all his life, and I've always gone back to him and got advice. And yeah, so I'm really close to my dad about that. My brother is also really talented. He's a musician as well. He plays guitar, does drum and bass and everything like that. Amazing. So it's like I have these people to look up to, and I just want to make them proud. And for a celebrity, for a musician, you would have to be Taylor Swift, because I think she is very, I think she would be very honest as well. I think she's very driven, and I really like that. She just knows what she wants, and she will like strive to get it. And I really love that about her. And the way she thinks about things, like writing songs and also like pushing other people as well, like you can do it. Yeah, so her like songwriting as well is definitely what I listen to and still listen to now. So my like range of music is just it's just not just like I love pop, I love country, I love rock music, I love R&B, drum and bass, everything like that really. So I've always listened to all different kinds of music and learned from all different things, because I love learning about how I can improve on myself. But I'd have to say overall it'd be Taylor Swift, because one of the first songs that I learned and got taught by my dad was Love Story. So yeah, and I'm glad I did, because it was quite hard at first, and I was just like, my hands are hurting, it's hard. So I was like, push through it, you can do it, you can do it. And it was just every day learning something different. So all them people together are my inspiration, really.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So what does performing like music mean to you, like especially as an artist standpoint?
It means so much. It's engaging with people, trying to, I think you bounce back when you're performing, you bounce off the audience. It's really nice to hear people come up to you and say, oh, that was really good, or actually, can you perform this one? Or just feedback, really. I love it. It's amazing. And I feel like you can connect, like it's like you're talking to the audience when you're singing your song. You're actually showing them that this song means a lot to me, and sometimes like you can feel it back, and it's really good. It's a way to be able to talk to people and get your music out there, and it's really important as a musician, because you want to engage with people, and you want to be able to sit there and be like, do you like my music? Because it's okay for you liking it. It's also like you have to create like fans, and you want people to like your music just as much as you do, because you're doing it for them to listen to as much as like you're performing and listening to it. So yeah, it's really important.
So on to our very next question. So if you could work with any top 3 music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
So that is really tricky. It would definitely be Taylor Swift. I think that is just number one for me. Oh, I don't know. That's really hard. I think it would be Katie Tunstall as well, because I just love how she uses her loop pedal, and like how she like creates these different things. I think it's amazing. It really is amazing. And it would either be Shania Twain or Dolly Parton, because I'm obsessed with their music. They're amazing. Oh, that's really hard. I feel like it would be them though. I can't decide between Shania or Dolly though. That's the thing.
So
I
good.
can't decide. We're gonna have to pull up an extra chair and we'll all have a little party.
It was good choices anyway. They were good choices. So on to the very next question. So what have you learnt about yourself as a person, like especially during COVID?
Oh, I feel like I've learned a lot about me as a person, as a musician. That it's a lot. I didn't realize how hard it was because I relied on gigs so much and to be able to perform my songs, and I couldn't do that. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do a lot more things like this, which I was really nervous about before because I think that I'm so used to hiding behind my guitar, and it's like actually speaking to a phone is really, it's not normal for me. So it was learning how to like adapt and be able to do things like this, which I actually really love now. I love doing like interviews, I love performing across and being able to like challenge myself. I feel like there's been times in COVID where I haven't been able to write. I've had writer's block and it's been really hard, and thinking, is it going to come back? Am I ever going to be writing again? Like, and then there's been times where I've just literally had all these ideas and I don't even know where to start. And because I have so much that I've been writing, and most of my songs that will be on my album soon have been since COVID. I've been writing a lot of music and trying to think of something new. I think that's the main thing. And I've learned some random skills that are not music as well, like stitching, spending my time doing other hobbies as well. So yeah, it's been really weird, I must admit.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what are like the positive and negatives into creating your own like music, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
So positive as an artist, I would say being able to write music to get your feelings out, especially if you're not good at talking about them, you can write about them and sing. I think it's a getaway as well. So if you're not in the right like headspace, or you're not really feeling anything, you can distract yourself through music. I think that's really great. You can just go into your own world and just connect through music. And because of social media as well, it's really like easy to be able to get your music out there, and it's really, you can connect with so many people. Like we've connected through social media. Like, it's amazing, and collabing with people. But the negatives, it is quite hard to be able to like get out there as well. It really is, because it's knowing the right people, it's knowing where to start sometimes, and it's also, I also feel like there is a lot of people out there, and you really have to prove to yourself, and you have to stand out, because there's billions of people doing the same thing as you, and you really have to stand out. But then it's also a positive, because there's so many people that you can collab with, and there's so many people that you can help as well. So I think with the negatives, it's more like the positives override, because you can always like solve it. There's other people to write with, and you're always bond over music, or yeah. So I feel like the negatives are like for a brief second, and then you kind of overcome them. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So on to my very last question, Abbie. So what's like next for you, like for the rest of 2021, like music wise, that you'd like to announce on the show?
So I haven't got anything to announce yet, unfortunately, but I have been working on my album. I've written a lot of songs in COVID and having a lockdown. So many songs come out. So I have recorded them all, but I'm still mixing and going back to them, so they're not completely finished yet. Hopefully, really hopefully, they'll be done by more to the end of the year. But I'm working really hard, and I'm working really hard with my producer, that can help me, get the music out to you all and be able to get some singles out before the album. So it'd be really good.
Well, would you like to perform one of your songs on the show, by the way?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I actually set up my mic and stuff before, so I was like, this would be, I want to add some reverb to it. So I just turn it on. So I'm going to perform Mr. Y. This is one of my favourites to perform live. I'm just really proud of the chords and everything. It's going to tilt it down. A bit of the guitar. 1, 2. Still waking to see enemies or battery. Wondering what you've been doing, going crazy with mistake thing. Who do you think you are, looking me up so soon? Mr. Why can't you see? I've been a mess for about a week. I know you're busy, but you wouldn't hurt if I didn't see you well. Friends just sit about while I'm still waiting for your call. Who do you think you are, looking me up so soon? Mr. Why can't you see? I've been a mess for about a week. And I know I said things like you and I the same. And I know you believe this. I know the bitterness does not remain. And who do you think you are, locking me up so soon? Mr. Why can't you see? I've been a mess for about a week.
Yes, Abbie, yes. Well, can I just say thank you so much again, Abbie, for taking the time to join my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on again. Do you have like any last final thoughts like that you'd like to say to people on the show?
Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. If you would like to hear more, I've got a Facebook under Abbie Gathard. I'll link all the things below. I'll put it in the comments or something like that. I've got an Instagram, Twitter. I've also got an EP, which is Taking Chances. on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that. So if you have a listen, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.